Gelsey Kirkland is known as one of the best ballet dancers in history who has inspired many choreographers. Kirkland was in New York City Ballet at only the age of 17 and excelled from there. Gelsey Kirkland is an ambitious ballet perfectionist whose talent named her as one of the most acclaimed ballerinas of her generation. She was trained by George Balanchine, one of the best choreographers of the New York City Ballet. Kirkland also became dance partners with Michael Baryshnikov for many years. Many people still describe her as the most beautiful dancer they have ever seen. Many choreographers inspired Gelsey Kirkland to become the amazing ballerina she is today. Margaret Fontaine and Rudolf Nureyev were two of Gelsey's idols that inspired her to dance. She watched their performances in Romeo and Juliet and was fascinated with the way that they danced. Kirkland's father put her in ballet classes at an early age. She was slow to learn, but that did not stop her. She put everything she had and more into the dance. She then began to start dancing at the School of American Ballet. Gelsey Kirkland states, "There's a story to why we're all here and where we are going and what is going to happen after we die. Everything that happens in our life shapes you into the person you are today." Over the next 10 years, her appearances on stage grew increasingly frequent. She then met Mikhail Baryshnikov, who she became dance partners with, and joined him in the American Ballet in 1974. The two of them had many duets together throughout the years. They are most known for their dancing in The Nutcracker. In much the way that Mikhail Baryshnikov raised the bar for male dancers, Kirkland created new standards for the modern ballerina. She was on the cover of Time magazine on May 1st, 1978. She also worked with George Balanchine, a choreographer who absolutely adored her. He gave her his whole repertoire to dance at the New York City Ballet. He taught her everything he knew and expected her to be perfect. Although Kirkland was a rising star, she also had a downfall in the middle of her career. As a young dancer, she would try to stretch her body into proportions more suitable for the long-legged dancer Balanchine preferred. She convinced herself she was unattractive and had surgery to enlarge her breasts. She started starving herself and binging on junk food. Gelsey Kirkland stated, "I became an expert with the technique of shoving my fingers down my throat." She became anorexic and eventually acquired a serious drug habit. In 1984, she left the American Ballet Theatre for good and kicked her cocaine addiction. She began to realize that maybe the spotlight was not for her. No matter the turbulence that followed in her personal life, it was her technique on stage that astonished audiences around the world. Now Kirkland, with her husband and partner, Michael Chernov, provide an education for dancers at the Gelsey Kirkland Academy of Classical Ballet.
And I'm down in Lower Manhattan at the Gelsey Kirkland Academy of Classical Ballet, and I'm here with co-artistic director Misha Chernov. The students here are so talented. I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job. Tell me, what is a day in the life of a student here in your program?
Well, the full-time students, and there's about 60 of them, started about 9 o'clock in the morning with core dynamics, which is a system of isolation and strengthening of the core and rotation. Then they have ballet class for about an hour and 3/4. Point class, men's class, variations, repertoire, a couple of character classes a week, music, wellness, and I must be forgetting something. Oh yes, stretch classes, aerobics classes.
So you have like the full comprehensive dancer, professional dancer training, ballet, wellness, everything. You can get it all in one place.
Yeah.
In an interview, she says, "All of the things that I've learned are being taught. She is teaching many aspiring children everything she knows to make them better. Because of her eating disorder, the school is also highly proactive in ensuring that students do not fall into destructive habits." Kirkland says, "We are cultivating a positive mind-body image. The main thing is to give them the right training to get them out of the mirror. She is keeping these kids on the right track and having them focus on dance, not their looks. These children look up to Gelsey Kirkland and hope to be as good as her one day." Her performances seemed to emerge spontaneously as though the steps were being invented only as she danced them. Gelsey Kirkland was one of the most captivating ballerinas to ever live.